All right, Shalom. This is Osman Walth. First and foremost, I want to say call Halayu Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Harakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Bakiyar, the elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. As always, it's an honor and privilege to continue to do this work. This video is basically going to be about the description, according to the Bible, of how the Father, which his name is Yahweh, and his Son, which his name is Yahawashi, is depicted as, man. Because you have Esau that went and spread all these lies uh, throughout the world and during the duration of time, in which he has biblical figures painted as a so-called white man. Now, it's not to say that all so-called white people are Edomites, as we have uh, been led through the Spirit for them to be, according to scriptures, because there is some Israelites that look like Edomites, and there's Israelites that are there's Israelites that look like Israelites. I mean, there's Edomites that look like Israelites, man. So it's all based upon your spirit, you know. So the Spirit is on me to do this video and base it upon scriptures, man, on how the Lord is depicted in the scriptures. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 26. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. Yeah, so certain entities, I'll say, in the heavens, you know, the spiritual world, they have the likeness of a man, you know, no different than Yahweh Yahawashi, you know, but they're on a total different level, you know, because they're on a celestial level, you know, they're not on the extraterrestrial level, you know, which the Israelites that make it through the fire, they're gonna be on an extraterrestrial level in the kingdom. Verse 27, and I saw as the color amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, as the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahweh. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. You know, so now it's describing the Father as having the likeness of a man, you know, which in the spiritual world, everything's in perfect order. And you even have certain, I'll say, entities that constantly praise and give praise unto Yahweh our Father and Yahweh Shah our the one. This is Revelation chapter 4, verse 1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, or sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald. So it's the same vision John the Revelator had that he's reiterating of what Ezekiel saw, you know. Says, and round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of the power. And behold, the throne, there was a seal of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like the flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 um, Yahawashi Yahawashi Almighty, which was and is to come. And when those beasts give honor, so I could give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. You know? So there ain't no war in heaven, as certain Christian churches like to push out there. Everything's in order, you know? Even the left-hand side of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is in order, you know? This is St. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. And when you think about wool, the texture of it is very coarse. It's very nappy. Yeah, I think coarse means is nappy, if I'm not mistaken. But it's very nappy, just like a Negro's hair, or so-called Negro's hair. It says his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, and that's why you see or you hear when people have either a near-death experience, or even if they did momentarily pass away, they'll see the light, or they'll tell somebody go to the light. This is the same light that's being issued, man. It says thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. Yeah, because the spirits that are translated, I'll say, they go back into the spiritual world, and their spirit is housed in their celestial body, until the time in which they're going to be reborn again back on earth. So really nobody ever per se dies, man. And matter of fact, Yahweh Shai, or who the world only calls Jesus Christ, he's going to conquer death, man. So among the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, in the kingdom of heaven, you're not going to know death. You're not going to know sorrow, because that's going to be a thing of the past. I mean, we're going to have knowledge of our past lives, and we're going to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for his left-hand side, man, his wrath, but as far as there being any death in the kingdom, is not going to be among the Israelites. It says the judgment was set and the books were open. And we're in a time in which the books are being opened, man. We're in a time in which it's evident who are written in the book of life and who is written in the book of death. Those that have a chance of being written in the book of life, they're doing the work, man. They're believing on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because there's going to be way more people that are going to perish than there's people that's going to be saved in these times, man. Verse 11, it says, I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even to the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I'm gonna continue to read. Which these beasts are concerning old ancient kingdoms that were once around and had their dominion, had their power, but they were taken out of the way. And the last remaining is gonna be America, man. You know that came back from its deadly wound. You know, which was the fall of the Roman Empire. But now the rebirth of that same system is back here on Earth, man. You know, continuing, it says, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Yeah, because now Yahawashi, through his sacrifice, you know, through the word, through the prophecies, he laid down his life for ultimately the whole nation of Israel. But when you go deeper into the scriptures, it's only specifically speaking about the Israel, the Most High, which is the elect, man. You know, because the rest of the nation of Israel is going to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, it says, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me, you know? Because when you deal with such great power, man, it's sometimes often overwhelming. It's scary, man. And that's one of the things that you read about when you read these scriptures, man. The men of the Lord were often afraid of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And it says, I forget. I'm not. I think it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, man. You know, this is Saint John chapter 5 verse 39. It says, "Search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life." Yeah, because it gives you hope, man. It gives you hope that you don't have to be hunted. You don't have to be a slave in the land of your captivity, in the valley of the shadow of death, man, which was prophesied by King David, in which he was living in America as well, man, through reincarnation, returning as King Marshal, man, you know, or Malak Marshal. It says, "And they are they which testify of me, and ye will not come to me that ye might have life." Yeah, because certain individuals weren't allotted to have life, man, to believe, to obtain salvation. Because everyone in this life, no matter what you do, you're following a role. You're playing your script, man. You know, some are gonna end good, and the majority is gonna end bad, man. Verse 41, it says, "I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that ye have not the love of the Most High in you." Yeah, man. You have to have that spirit burning in you, man. You know, you have to have this word being drawn out of you, you know, to whatever measure that the Most High has allotted you. Because not everybody that's in this truth is going to be on at the tippity top level, man. Because not everyone has the same gifts, you know. But if you believe in this word, you believe in this truth, and you are obtaining and maintaining the correct doctrine, you know, the chances are you're going to be one of those that are delivered by the Israel, man, or what the world inwardly calls UFOs. Verse 43, I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. Yeah, and who's the character that's on the planet that you people have received, man? Isn't it not Cesare Borgia? You know, that's who you people worship as the God of the Bible, which is not even according to scriptures, man. Because the depiction of what the world, what the Yahawashi will look like, or so-called Jesus Christ, is in Revelation, the first chapter. Now, if you can't see it, then the love of the love of Yahweh is not in you, man. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. It says, and in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Yeah, so going back to what it was, what was read in Daniel the 7th chapter. You know, now this is the Son of Man. This is the King. This is Yahawashi being described. The same in the same likeness as the Ancient of Days, or Yahweh, man. Having hair like wool, having that nappy texture hair, you know, white as snow, you know, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Because when you go into the scriptures, it it tells you that the Lord was, he liked to drink wine, man. And this is Genesis chapter 49, verse 12. It says, his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. You know, so and also he's preserving wine for the elect, man, on his upon his return, which is going to be very soon, man. Just because they're opening up this society or letting people go out or whatever, that's not going to take away from the fact that we're in the time of the end. We're in a time of prophecy, man. And it's just going to get worse and worse. This is going back to Revelation, the first chapter, the 15th verse. It says, in his feet like unto fine brass. Now, everybody's been into some type of schooling, being in America, or you might have seen orchestra play or people playing instruments. Now, that fine brass, which you will see like a saxophone or a trumpet, is like a goldish brown, man. So off the bat, that that eliminates the Lord having translucent, pigmentless skin, as you see so-called Jesus Christ or Cesare Borgia as having, which is actually clean biblical leprosy, man. Continuing, it says, now if you take that same brass, right, it says, as if they burned in the furnace. Now, when you think about furnaces back in the ancient world, they burn a lot more hotter than what they do today. What the average goes to 450 or maybe 500 for residential, you know. But some, even in Italy, which there's a lot of biblical history in Italy, you know, some of their ovens burned at over 2,000 degrees, man. You know, so if you take that same brass and then burn it in the furnace, you're going to get a very dark hue. You're going to get a very dark-skinned man, you know, which is the truth. When you go into these scriptures, it says, in his voice as a sound of many waters. Yeah, he had a very deep and commanding voice. Now, when you go into the book of Hebrews, which the Hebrews represented the whole nation, you know, it reads Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. It says, for it is evident that our One sprang out of Judah, or Yahweh, man. which that also eliminates the Amalekites that live in the land of Israel today being the real Israelites, because yeah, Jew is just short for Judah, but the way you really say it is Yahweh and not Yehudi, you know, because his name is within the name Judah, as I believe it was Leah that gave thanks to Yahweh for giving her another son, man, and named him Yahweh or Yahweh thanks. You know, it says, Salakia, it says, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Yeah, so when you think when you read the scriptures and meditate that the Lord, or who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, which we know him as Yahawashi, is from the tribe of Judah, well, then that it should have somewhere in the Bible that depicts the complexion of these people, man. And this is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 1. It says, the word of Yahweh that came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth. Now, dearth is synonymous to a famine, man. And when you do your research, darker skinned people get even darker when they're famished, you know? Now, this was happening, this is talking about a famine in the land. But this is verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof languish. They are black onto the ground. So they're black onto the ground, man. So when you dig into the earth, the soil gets darker and darker, man. It gets richer and richer, you know? It says, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Yeah. So when you read the rest, it just is talking about a bad famine, man, that was taking place at that particular time. But the point being is that the people of Judah are the same complexion as Yahawashi, man, which today we will identify them as the so-called Negroes. So when Yahawashi returns upon earth, standing upon a humongous so-called UFO, you people are going to see a so-called Negro, a so-called black man, with all power and might. So with that, I hope at least one brother elect was edified, and I'm going to say shalom.